Map is a JavaScript function that you can use on any array to create new items and return those items in a new array of the same length. You can think of map a bit like a projection. You take an array of values and you project that into a new array of different values. For example, if you had an array of strings like this, where each string is a number in quotes, well, you could use the map function to parse those numbers into an array of actual number objects. Another example might be if you had an array of numbers and you wanted to create a new array where each value was 2 to the power of the original value. You can do that with the map function fairly easily. A third example could be selecting the properties of an object. If you had an array of objects and each object had this ID property, then using map, you could turn this into an array of the ID properties themselves, which would be a string array. The signature for the map function looks like this. It has one argument, which is the mapping function that gets applied to each element. The mapping function has this signature, where it takes the element and the index in the array, and the second index parameter is actually optional, so you don't need to use that if you don't want to. The return value of this function is the new item that you want to put into your resulting array. Let's write out a version of the map function to put each item to the power of 2 like we saw before. So we start with an array of numbers, and then we call array.map and create a mapping function that simply says return 2 to the power of the element. We can ignore the second argument here as we don't actually need that for this. Now if we run this on the array, you can see the result is 2, 4, 8, 16. So that's 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, 2 to the power 3, and so on. Right, let's do something on strings next. Here is an array of strings, and we're going to write a map function to add the array index onto the ends of these strings. So we do array.map, and this time we're going to use that second index property. We're going to return the element and then some text, and then the index in the array that this element is sitting at. The result of this will be train is item 0, 2 is item 1, code is item 2. Now you can see we've used that second index argument to create these strings in the result. Array.map is a way to convert an array from one format into another by executing a mapping function on each item in the array. Now you could do this with a for loop, but using array.map makes it much cleaner and it forces you to write your code in an immutable way. Because array.map will not modify the original array at all, it just creates a new array and leaves the original one untouched. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful. Here's some links to some more of my videos on the screen now. My name's James Charlesworth and this is the Train to Code YouTube channel.